Hello, everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with my dog, Alex Rodriguez, joined by Aaron Judge, remaining a Yankee. I'm joined by the mighty Jalen Hurts and the mighty AJ Brown, the duo that caused the Tennessee GM to lose his job yesterday. Hilarious. And we're going to start the show with Killer Cam. Take it away, A-Rod.
Bro, my God, it couldn't start the show any better. So we love to talk about hip hop every now and then. So why not bring in correspondent Killer Cam on the streets of New York City, where Ben Gordon apparently is arrested for attacking people using sewing needles as his weapon.
First of all, I'm reading. So it was Oxgod that posted it on Twitter. So I start off reading it. It says Cameron. It started off Cameron reporting on Ben Gordon stabbing people with sewing needles or whatever. As I'm reading that little snippet, I'm like, yo, this gotta be the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life. And then I'm watching, I'm like, yo, Killer Cam was giving the real news, and Ben Gordon really has lost it, dog, in Harlem, dog. I was like, what's going on?
But the fact that Killer Cam put something together is even better. And like the best part is the beginning where he's talking about it, and then it like slowly fades to the top of the building. I'm like, this is some.
But the way he interviews too, man, the interviews were perfect. And it gave me a real pulse of New York and a real Harlem feel to it. It was beautiful. Probably that's the only way I want my news from here on out. I don't care about no CNN, no MSNBC or Fox News. If it ain't for camera, I don't want to hear it. Why am I wasting my time?
Exactly. Killer Cam just got into a whole new market. He had no idea.
Right, he had no idea what he was getting himself into.
Goofy smacking from across the street, man. He don't care.
Killer Cam. All right, guys, listen. It's episode 80. Huh? What'd you say?
That could be his intro. I said that could be his intro.
You're right. Right. All right, guys. It's episode 80. We are back. A lot of shit's been going on. Just every day is something. Depends on the day, the mood, the sport. You know, people getting hurt, people getting released. You know, people not getting signed. A lot of shit going on all aspects. People not being able to play in the World Cup game. That's y'all goat. That ain't my goat. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some NFL. We're gonna talk about some hot stove. Obviously, you know, Aaron Judge is back in New York, back in the Bronx. Give y'all a little bit of a World Cup update, and then you know we're gonna wrap it up with some pick'ems. We're gonna start off with a quick little weekend recap. A-Rod, what was some of the most entertaining or interesting or something that kind of happened during this weekend in the NFL that you kind of want to get off your chest?
In the NFL?
Yeah. A lot of crazy shit was going on Sunday.
I mean, that Monday Night Bucks game, I was at the game, and I'll be honest with you, I did not think they were going to win that game, and I thought you were going to take another point from me this week, but
I came out victorious.
You did, and on top of that, I left the game.
I left the game. You missed Tom Brady's miraculous comeback?
Bro, it was 6 minutes on the clock, and that's when they punted from the other end of the field on what was it, 4th and 10, and everybody was booing.
Yeah,
booing in the stadium.
I heard
booing. And my friend who I was there with, because I haven't seen him in a while, shout out to my dog Louie. I haven't seen him in a while, so I met up with him at the game. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, he's a diehard Bucks fan. He's like, let's leave. I was like, all right, let's bounce. So we're walking out, and we hear one cannon fire, and like, oh, they scored. So we're in the car, we're going around the roundabout to get out of the parking lot, and you just hear another like cannon fire, and watching the things like they just won, and everyone's pulling up next to me like, yeah, we won. I'm like, y'all fools left though. Like, you didn't have any faith in this team. Damn. I don't want to hear it. But that Bucks I'll give it. That's probably one of the more exciting games of the week. I would say. You got to see Vintage Tom do what Vintage Tom does.
But you didn't get to see it live.
I didn't. That's
let me tell you from my angle, from the couch. Let me tell you from my angle from the couch.
By the way, KK had free tickets from me too and didn't go.
Man, I did not want to go. Trust me, guys. I'm not gonna go. I was not going to get up off my tired ass Monday. I already had the Monday blues from work. I wasn't gonna get off my tired ass to go drive to Raymond James Stadium to go see two teams under 500 play football. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's Tom Brady or Brady Quinn. I was not going to that game. Anyway, from my couch, I'm watching this shit. I'm watching how the Saints are playing. And you know what it reminded me of? Another NFC South team in a Super Bowl game a few years ago that had a 28-3 lead. It reminded me, they were playing the dumbest football I have ever seen. I'm like, y'all are really trying to give Tom Brady the ball back, aren't y'all? And Tom Brady just dig, 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 dig. And then boom, it's 10-16 now. And then they go out of bounds. They throw it deep on 3rd down and 1 to Taysom Hill in the middle of the field. I'm like, you have got, I mean, he could have caught it, but you have got to be kidding me. If that's the call that we're going to come up with on 3rd down to keep Tom Brady off the field, once they kick that ball back, I mean, it was like deja vu all over again. I was like, for like the 42nd or 43rd time, I was like, he going to do it again. And he marched down the field like he did in with the LA Rams game the other day, like he's been doing time after time after time. He did it again. He did it again. Tom Brady is still 45 and he's still that dude. Doesn't change the fact that he misses Giselle, but he's 2-1 since he's 3-1 since the divorce. Whatever, I don't care. But it was exciting, I guess. We have the Eagles have the Saints pick, so it's nice to see them lose. We got a top 5 pick right now. Go figure. I thought we'll have a top 5 pick for different reasons. We have the top 5 pick because the Saints are ass, and I love it. And speaking of the Eagles, speaking of the Eagles, I am very, very excited with what I watched with the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday against the Titans, right? But that's not what I'm going to talk about.
Why are you excited?
That's not what I'm going to talk about. It was beautiful. I mean, it was beat the shit out of them, right? It was fantastic, right? And I was like, yeah, I went to sleep. I was about to go to sleep, like feeling really good about myself. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys of all teams. But it hung 33 points in the 4th quarter on the Colts. The team that we had to barely beat with a game-winning touchdown by Jalen Hurts, they hung 33 points in the 4th quarter, and I went to bed terrified. I'm not even kidding. I went to bed absolutely mortified when I saw that. I was like, oh, these boys are not going away. y'all, I needed y'all to beat the Vikings. And I'm like, I was trying to get a cushion off of Minnesota. I was like, all right, whatever. It's still Mike White. It wasn't like it was going to be easy. But Tom Brady versus the Saints has been a house of horrors. I'm not even talking. Not Tom Brady. The Cowboys have been average. They haven't done shit in a while, and they're not going to scare me. They haven't scared me in a very long time. After that Sunday night performance, boy, I was mortified, bro. I was mortified.
Another one. I mean, that's living in your house of horrors right there. I can tell. But another game that was exciting was to watch the Lions just put the hurt on the Jaguars. I mean, Dan Campbell woke up one day.
We both picked that. Everybody both knew the Lions were going to win that game. I was like, are they coming off a loss?
But not a big 40.
I knew once I saw they were coming off of a loss, I was like, Dan Campbell about to bring that shit. He about to bring the pain. The Lions, and when they do our pickups later, the Lions are 5-7, about to play the 9-2 or 10-2 Minnesota Vikings. The Lions are favored at home. I never seen no shit like this, so we're gonna get to that. But the Lions. You called it in the beginning of last year, like they go. You love that guy Campbell. I love I watch Hard Knocks.
I love him, man.
I felt the same way. It took me watching Hard Knocks though. Like before that, I was like, whatever, he's crazy. But I watched Hard Knocks and I saw the kind of passion that they had. You watch Jamal Williams in that Hard Knocks. It's not a surprise that he's leading the league in touchdowns right now. It's not a surprise at all. That's his. Exactly. That is his team now. Like for real. He's the guy on offense, and Aiden Hutchinson already is the guy on defense. They're like that is his defense. That is his offense. So it's beautiful. again, I can never actually be a Lions fan because my life was miserable in the 90s when I lived there. Even though we had Barry Sanders, I hated everything about that team. I hated Detroit. It was bad. But I always have a soft spot in my heart if they're doing well. The Stafford days, the Harrington days, the Orlovsky days, whatever days, man. It's all been gloomy. 0-16. I would never cheer against the Lions. It's just hard to do that. So I'm proud. I'm proud of what they're accomplishing right now. Some good football in the Midwest right there. Good little football. Did you see any of that Deshaun Watson highlight?
It was pretty boring, man.
Yeah,
Didn't
because
really do much.
But he hasn't played football in 2 years. Anybody who's expecting him to come out and just ball, I'm like, bro, what are y'all smoking, bro?
I know exactly, and I had him on the bench, so thank God. But when we're gonna get into the injury bug, starter was Lamar.
So it's paying off. We'll see if it pays off because
not this.
Deshaun's still probably not
Lamar
Deshaun.
Got me.
But I mean,
yeah, I know.
We talk injury bug.
We'll see.
We talking injury bug. Might as well start with Lamar. So there's a few injuries in the NFL right now for some teams who are either in the playoffs, on the cusp of the playoffs, or have Super Bowl aspirations. So I put a few of them down that were pretty big and how they're going to affect the team. First and foremost, Lamar Jackson's the first one we can definitely talk about. Obviously, it's a contract year. So they disrespected him in the offseason. In my head, I'm like, bro, he should be like, yo, I'm gonna just take my time and see what happens. I mean, what do you think about that whole situation?
Yeah, it sucks, but I think they're one in the division. He's got some leverage with
they're one, but they're tied with the Bengals, and the Bengals are hot. Hot.
I know the Bengals are hot. We lost that pick, both of us, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But he still won. And Tyler Huntley's no slouch. Like, he plays pretty good as a backup in his small sample. So I'm only praying that, and I don't think they would, is if Huntley balls out, like, that's just a grace of God that you got that for 1 or 2 games for him, and you need that. Because I think they got the Bengals this week too, and that sucks if they play they play
Steelers.
Yeah, I think they do play the Bengals.
Ravens got the Steelers.
I knew it. Yeah, so it's a divisional game. It's going to be tough. But I mean, for Lamar, like, I think he's sitting pretty right now with all that he's done. Like, he for a while was in the rushing yards contention. And he's not losing games. We've said it already. We've talked about Lamar a lot, and it's on the defense. I think that he's sitting pretty, and he can just chill a little bit. But I know he wants to get out there and he wants to prove it. And
you don't think that contract's on his head? He gonna just take a little bit easy. Like, all right, let me just. I mean, he owes the team nothing right now because they have not shown any good faith to him.
No, he doesn't, and nothing is ever owed to anybody. To be honest with you, that's the way I see it. Nothing is owed because they'll forget about you in a day. Isaiah Thomas is the perfect example of that, and that should forever. Like, I don't like the Celtics, but guy was an MVP candidate, and you gave up on him. You gave up on that man, and the league gave up on him after that. And there's nothing. He's been scoring since he came into the league. So, but teams will forget about you. And they forget about you for the wrong reasons because they see something. And if it happens just like that, you see it with contracts. You see it with guys that you never heard of, and they get these big contracts. And like Brock Osweiler, perfect example, comes in and does a couple games for Peyton Manning and gets paid all this money. And what do? Nothing.
Like Timofey Mozgov. LeBron got him to the finals. He got paid.
Yeah. Bullshit. Anyways, Lamar can do what he wants, but I also think Lamar's got the right crew around him because as you don't see him doing anything stupid. Yeah, you see him throwing passes to Antonio Brown every now and then, but he's not letting Antonio Brown in that locker room to corrupt shit. I got faith in Lamar, and he's gonna get a payday whether it's the Ravens or whoever signs him. I don't care, but like sit pretty, do your thing. I want to see you finish it with the Ravens.
So what do you think the Baltimore Ravens outlook looks like for the rest of the season now? You think they can still? I mean, that I had them in the Super Bowl, and if you're asking me, and like I said last week, I started to discuss it last week. I'm not putting the Ravens in the Super Bowl anymore. To me right now, Chiefs, Bengals, and that's it for me.
Okay. I think their outlook is still good. I think Lamar's going to miss one game, two max, is what they're saying. They say he's definitely not playing this week. He's pretty much doubtful, so we can rule him out this week. But the week after is a good chance for him to play. So you need one good game out of Huntley and possibly a second one. So I don't know who they play the next game, but I think that with that team constructed, they can beat the Steelers. I don't know what comes after that. If it's the Bengals or if it's somebody who's scary knocking on the door, then I don't know.
According to my sources, the 8-4 Baltimore Ravens are at the Steelers this week.
They play
at the Browns. Ooh, yeah, they're at the Steelers and they're at the Browns.
Yeah, doable. They could beat the Browns. Oh, Deshaun's back, but we got to see what kind of Deshaun we get by the third game.
It's a little different, but yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not giving you wrong information. So
I have faith in Huntley.
They close the Steelers. They close out the season at the Steelers, at the Browns, home for the Falcons, home for Pittsburgh, and then the Titans. Oh no, and then Cincinnati. So that's tough. With the backup quarterback, I don't care who it is. It's not Lamar Jackson, so it's still gonna be a little tough. But I think Lamar got to do what he got to do. Most number one thing for you. I know people want to lie to themselves and say the number one thing is we win. As an individual contractor for the National Football League, your job, your objective is to make as much money doing your craft at the highest level that you can possibly do your craft. That's what he's responsible for. And it just look, as a recruiter, I used to do contract recruiting. I know what happens towards the end of people's contract. They start calling me like, hey, contracts are coming up. I'm looking for a new opportunity. Or if they can give me a little bit more money. It's the same thing. We do it as regular citizens. These super gladiator athletes are asked to do the same thing. And we can't just be mad at Lamar if he holds out, or mad at Lamar if he doesn't feel comfortable rushing back to a dangerous game with a bum knee playing his style of football. So to me, this is a Steve Bisciotti and the whole Ravens organization. This is a very pivotal moment. You gotta weigh your options to see what's going to be the most important to you, because they could look at the draft and just find their Lamar replacement. They could use Huntley for the foreseeable future, but unanimous MVPs don't just grow on trees. So, damn, that rhymed. Put that in the book. Quote me. Sound like Deion. I'm sounding like prime time right now. But yeah, no. Lamar got to do what he got to do.
Shout out to prime.
So, and then
he said, "I'm unpacking my bags, and it's a lot of Louis."
It's a lot of Louis. Prime time, and it's crazy. Look, Deion. We're gonna get to Deion. Deion is one of my favorite humans in this world for the last 25 years since I knew who Deion was. I was like, yo, I like that guy. But yeah, two things to segue off of this Baltimore Ravens thing. One, we talked about that we were both wrong about that Cincinnati Bengals game. We didn't really talk about it in the beginning. Just a quick little thing on that. Damn. Joe Burrow got Patrick Mahomes' number, bro. He just got him. He's one of those quarterbacks which you just understand, like, he's going to be around for the next 15. Like, we just got to put up with him. He's going to win. He's going to be back to another Super Bowl. We got to put up with, like, we have to start to acknowledge who that new talent is. Because, the whole theme, I feel like this whole season has been the old guys have passed the torch on to the new guys. Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. Now we can throw him in there. Like, the new guys are just balling this year. What were your little your reactions from that football game?
I think we don't talk about Joe Burrow enough and how great he is.
We don't.
And I forgot who was watching. They were like, we really don't talk about how much he's like, he'll have a good game. And we're like, oh, Joe Burrow had a good game. But then the next week we'll see Tua throw for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And we'll see Holmes do what he does. And we forget that this guy just threw like, maybe 3 touchdowns and 300 and something yards, which is still good.
Against a good team.
Each game he's improving.
Yeah.
Each game he's improving with a subpar O-line at that. I don't think there's anybody that's fantastic on that O-line, but they've got good players now than last year or the year before. But each year he's taking a step, and each game he's taking a step, the way I see it. So you got to give Joe Burrow his flowers.
They're on a little bit of a winning streak right now, and they did a lot of that without Jamar Chase. So you see, like Aaron Rodgers, he loses 4-game winning streak right now. Aaron Rodgers loses Devontae Adams. That team can't get right, even though he still owns the Bears. That will never change. He still owns the Bears. But Joe Burrow loses.
We talk a lot about Jamar Chase. We talk a lot about Jamar Chase, but
we don't talk enough about Joe Burrow.
Well, no, but we don't talk about Tyler Boyd.
Well, yeah,
Tyler Boyd took AJ Green's job halfway into the season.
No.
A couple years back.
Yeah.
And then became the number 1 over AJ Green, and then they let AJ Green walk because they still have Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then they got T. Higgins, blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these guys could be 1s or 2s on any team.
Of course.
And then you bring in Jamar Chase, balls out. So you got to give the whole team their flowers, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Samari Perine, he's a serviceable running back. He's a serviceable running back, man. He ain't a starter, but when you need him to do light work, a game or 2, he shows up. That's all I gotta say.
I love Joe Mixon a lot, so I always have him. I always make sure I have that Perine handcuff though, because if Mixon is out, Perine go in there and do his shit. That's what he does, right? All right. So back to the injury bug. So remember, so a little bit, just 5 minutes ago, I said, to me, I only have it down to the Chiefs and the Bengals, right? Why didn't you talk about the Bills, 2K? Because of the injury bug. Look, you saw that segue? God damn, I'm good. Von Miller, torn ACL. So he got hurt. At first, we thought he could come back in a few weeks. And then they reassessed it, what could not be seen on the MRI. And he will be back next year, ladies and gentlemen. Does this put a big blow on Buffalo Bills Super Bowl chances, or they'll be all right?
What do I say is the winning formula for a team? Go get you Von Miller.
Get you a Von Miller, yeah.
And now Von Miller is not there. And what do the Bills continuously do? Bill. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll eat crow after this week, after they beat the shit out of us, because I'd pick the Bills to beat us this week. I would pick the Bills to beat us this week.
Are you?
I am. We're not looking too hot right
now.
I would probably pick. We're not looking too hot right now. After this, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to beat the Bills. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm on my team. This is my team. We're going to beat the Bills. And they've been exposed. People have seen the way they play. And there's something brewing in New England, though. There is something brewing in New England.
In a bad way, right?
Huh?
In a bad way,
Not
right?
In a good way. In a bad way.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is getting pissed, man. He wants to throw the ball, and they want to run it all the time.
When you go from Josh McDaniel, or is it McDaniels?
To Josh McDaniels.
To Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as your offensive coordinators, you have got to be kidding me. Mac Jones went from an offensive coordinator guru to a special teams coordinator and a linebacker. What are y'all trying to do to this young man? And if Bill Belichick really loves Mac Jones, he's doing him a disservice by what the hell is going on right now. This is bad. This is really, really, really awful what they're doing in New England. So we could count New England out this year. It's gonna come down to y'all, Dolphins, and the Bills. I mean, y'all are literally like 3, 4, 5
right there
losses, 9, 8, 7. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like, and that Mike White experiment's obviously paying off. Even in that loss, that Zach Wilson could
he didn't
not
do
be
anything
letting
bonehead. Corey Davis has stone hands. Like the interception wasn't his fault. It's Corey Davis who can't catch a pass sometimes. Yeah. And I'm not going to poo-poo on Corey Davis because I love Corey Davis. But Mike White is the answer right now, and I got no beef with it. But yeah, the Bills, they'll make it deep in the playoffs. They will. But they don't scare me. I think we established that after the Jets beat them. I was like, they don't scare me after that. So,
but losing that dude that like in January when you need a play, he's the guy that's gonna make that play. Losing him, it's tough. It's tough.
It is tough. I agree.
You think they can still win the division, or are we looking past that already? Because they're 9-3.
No, I think they can. I think they can still win the division. Okay. I think it's a toss-up right now with all three teams. We thought you asked me last week about the Dolphins, and last week was probably the greatest hot seat you ever put me on because you didn't let me accept my answers. You kept throwing me back into the fire, and it was tough, man. But I stand what I said. I wasn't sold on the Dolphins, and we both picked. I think we both picked the 49ers to win that game, or you might have said the Dolphins. I can't remember, but it shows your young coach how young he is, and his former boss got the best of him. So
49ers defense,
the understudy got a little.
49ers defense is stupid, bro. I mean, they are just balling this year. Which nice little segue again. We can jump into the 49ers. God, I love this. We jump into the 49ers. Now, the defense is stupid, but a quarterback out again. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo every other year is going to get hurt for the season. You just have to just accept it. And that's why they're like, please, let's move off of him. Ironically, Trey Lance hurt for the year. It's like, God, they're down to Brock Purdy. So Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy is going to have to be the guy that carries them to what they felt like was about to be a Super Bowl year based on how they played the last few weeks. What say ye about the situation with Jimmy G? God, I'm just rhyming all day.
I know. I think with Jimmy G, like, Brock Purdy's okay. I think he's sitting pretty where he needs to be. I think that offense is just so loaded that you don't have to look far downfield to make any plays. You can dump it off to Christian McCaffrey to get a couple yards. Deebo Samuels can run, whatever route, and he's serviceable. George Kittle is there to block for you or catch those passes for a quick 15. You don't got to do too much. You don't got to go out there and be Garoppolo. Just find ways to win, and that's what that offense does. Even though it's a stacked offense, I think everything shifts though when you get that. And I know that they were all in on trying to get Baker Mayfield to come over there, and the LA Petty Rams, bro.
I love that. That's the stuff that makes me love sports, because like that's just how the waiver wire works. I mean, I do it in fantasy. If I know I'm ahead of somebody who I don't want to get a player, I don't need to play. I don't give a damn. I'm still get them anyway. That made me love sports just a little bit more. It's just continue.
It is, but I think they're okay with Purdy. I mean, he beat a pretty good team. He beat a pretty good team out there coming into the game, and he looked pretty good. So we'll see game 2 what happens, but I think the 49ers are okay. If they can sign another, they're going to have to get another backup, that's for sure. I just don't know who's on the wire. I mean, maybe what's that quarterback y'all used to have that we had too? McCown. Josh McCown might come play for him.
Well, he's 42.
and fly his jet to San Francisco when they need him.
Listen, I'm trying to find the exact stat, but I think it's 8-31. Kyle Shanahan is 8-31, if I'm not mistaken, without Jimmy Garoppolo. And with him, I think he was like 39-19 or 39-8 or some crazy flip flop, right? So we gotta. Jimmy Garoppolo may not be the most refined quarterback. He misses a lot of throws. That dude wins games somehow. He got him to a Super Bowl.
He wins games, exactly. And
he
beat that bad man who won MVP last year.
He threw the ball 8 times though. That was it. But it still beat him. Like
still let him there.
He beat him that one year, and then in the snow, Jimmy G, he wins somehow. It just doesn't make sense. They rally. Like the team has played monumentally better when he's at quarterback because they just feel more confident for whatever reason. Like they just love him. Brock Purdy, he played well. They didn't have a game plan for him. Obviously, they didn't watch film on Brock Purdy. So
I think it's going to be
now with a week of film. What
I was going to say, I think it's going to be similar to a Mike White you're going to get out of this team because they know homeboy's not coming back. They know what's the other guy that they draft? Trey Lance ain't coming back either.
But it's so not you got to circle. It can't be the same.
I know it's not, but at the same time, if you're winning and if the kid wins, they're gonna rally around this kid because you're gonna win they're gonna win the division. I think. I don't think the Seahawks are gonna be able to do it, and if they do, I'd be happy if they did it because I'm
happy for this little old Gino.
No, more Pete Carroll, but I'm on the Gino wagon now with the. They wrote me off. Quote. I'll give them that, but we already apologized to Pete Carroll deep down inside. I wanted Pete Carroll to do well. And we're showing it was Russ. Hey, one more thing about Russ. I was telling my friend, like, could you imagine if the Broncos were to walk away from Russ and be like, we're going to trade you, and they send his ass to another team? Like, what would his tagline be if he went to, like, imagine if the Bucks, like, Brady retires and the Bucks get him. What would he say if he was with the Bucks? Fire the cannons. Let's sail. Cannons.
Bucks.
Set ship. Let's sail.
Bucks country. Fire the cannons. Yeah,
that's the sales.
You just got me thinking. First of all, they can't. I don't think they can because all that dead money. It'll be hard. Like the Broncos will be under. I believe. I just. It's really crazy.
Off topic. Let's go back to the point.
It's just really crazy to watch the demise of Russ. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's just. I mean, all right. I just got to say it. Is he still a Hall of Famer? Like, you think this hurts him?
Oh, yeah.
You think
it hurts him. Damn. Does he have an MVP under his belt? Does he have an MVP under his belt?
He's never had an MVP vote. Not even like third place. They've never even gave him a vote. That's wild.
Yeah, it hurts him.
He's hurt.
It's gonna hurt him.
Them not running the ball.
Unless he corrals the herd next year, like I'm trying to think of the wittiest Broncos quotes I can give you right now. Unless he can rally the troops, nah, man. I told you, like Sierra threw him a birthday party and invited the team. Half the team showed up.
Okay, I could look at that so many different ways because, first of all,
I know I could.
The little dudes on the team was not coming to that party. They was not invited anyway. The long snapper was probably not invited. Stuff like that. Special teams, as long as some of the offense was there, that's all I care about. All right.
He's a corny man. I told you, he's a corny man. Animatronic.
Anyway, what team were we just talking about? The Bills?
49ers.
Yeah, they're gonna win the division. Probably. They're gonna win the division, but I want to play
faith in them now.
I want to play them in the playoffs. Let's do that. As an Eagles fan, I'd play Brock Purdy. A Bucks fan, I can deal with Brock Purdy. The Cowboys, I can deal with.
But they're also saying Jimmy G. They're saying Jimmy G could be back for the playoffs.
And they also Kyle Shanahan said I'm not too optimistic about that. So I would not count on it. He broke his foot.
Get him some porn stars. He's
not Terrell Owens. He's not Terrell Owens. Sorry. So
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying. And
Terrell Owens could do that. Not Mr. Jimmy Cougar Hunter G. Nah, not him. So we're gonna leave that one alone. He's not Odell Beckham Jr. He's not going to be able to make an impact in the Super Bowl after the torn ACL. But speaking of Odell Beckham Jr., golly, I'm doing it again. OBJ visited with the Cowboys. OBJ visited with the Cowboys. And they've been sucking him off so badly. I mean, courting him, taking him to the first row of the Dallas Mavericks game, going on podcast and radio show. We really want him. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to watch. They bring him in finally. Jerry Jones won't commit to signing him because he doesn't think he's ready until January. I'm like, y'all did all this shit to tell him no? The Cowboys will always find a way to cowboy. Are they blowing smoke, or do you think that's legit? And do you think it's fair that they release the information that they don't think he'll be ready until January? Like that's kind of screwed up, bro. But take it away.
No, that's already been said.
I haven't heard that information yet.
Oh no, I've heard that a lot. A lot of teams have been skeptical to sign him. After we were told by November he would be playing, I started seeing reports come out that he would not be ready until January, they were saying, to play. And Odell's kind of hurting his stock as well because he doesn't want to work out for anybody. So that also tells you if you don't want to work out, we can't see what we have. So
yeah,
Odell's going to milk everything he can get. And by all means, I'm not mad at him for that. Like, he's a household name. He's of course he wants to get paid. But if you don't trust him, give him a 1-year deal or give him a deal for the rest of the year and then call it quits after that. And at least he gets paid, and you might get him, you might not, and then boom, on to the next one. But that's a gamble you got to take. And Jerry Jones was high on that gamble. He thought he was going to be able to sign him. And then when they said we need to see a workout, Odell was like, yo, take me to the front row of the Mavs game. And then he was like, yeah, you're not going to get that workout from me. So Odell does what Odell does best, man.
I don't know, man.
Might not.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I'm taking OBJ right now. I don't give a damn. I'm taking him right now because why not? I don't give a damn if he's not playing or not. Get him into the organization. Spend a couple mil. Just tell him it's going to be a veteran minimum. You're only playing a couple games. You know, get him in the freaking locker room. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a prove it, not really a prove it, but like, yo, let's bring you in. We're going to take care of you. We're going to nurse you back to health. And if you can be of impact to us in the middle of a playoff game, even if for 20 series, 10 series, I don't give a damn. Like, OBJ is still OBJ. Obviously we have A.J. Brown. We have Devontae Smith, right? Our third receiver is Quez Watkins with a little banged-up shoulder. He's been playing really well. It's still Quez Watkins, though. And then fourth is Zach Pascal, who, he blocks well and makes a couple good catches here and there, but it's still Zach Pascal. We're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. Take him, bro.
I know.
Figure it out. If I'm Dallas, clearly your team, your locker room morale will clearly be boosted by having him there. Why? Because they've made it publicly known. We want OBJ. Like, just do it, bro. Just do it, bro. I don't know what they're wasting time for. Maybe they're just blowing smoke up our ass. They're trying to get the price a little lower, but I don't. I'm doing it.
I've poo-pooed on Odell his entire career until he won that Super Bowl with the Rams because you got to see Odell having fun again, and you're seeing it again. It's unfortunate, and what's going on with him, with his injury and everything. But at the same time, he's rich, bro. He's got so many endorsements.
Kicked off of planes and shit.
And getting kicked off of planes like it doesn't matter, bro. Like he's sitting pretty right now.
Yo, put your seatbelt on, Mr. Odell. Like, no, I'm tired.
But you see this all the time with teams in the NFL. They're high on a player, and then the whole league is high on him, and then they bring him in for a tryout or they court him or do whatever. I mean, this is Odell. This is the queen of the NFL right now that you're bringing in, but a lot of people want him. And the Cowboys, who got a lot of money to pay, say, nah, we don't think he's ready, blah, 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 blah. And what does that do to the rest of the NFL? Sends a shockwave to the NFL. Oh, maybe they're onto something. Maybe should we bring him in and do that? No, we don't want to waste all that money for him to, for everything to be right.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a team that is willing to gamble on Odell. And just like you just said before, like that boosts your morale in your locker room right now. Odell, as much as I couldn't stand him in the past, I'm a huge Odell fan now. I'm a big fan because of what he can do to your locker room and change it. Hey man, I told you I'm always willing to give people. I'm proud of myself too.
Pat yourself on the back.
I really do like Odell, and I think you're foolish to not sign him right now, because whether he does play this year or he doesn't, like you said, you give him the veteran minimum. You get that hype into the locker room. Like, you got this guy in the locker room. He's going to feed into your young stars. He's going to feed into your receivers. He's going to feed into that offense. He might want to stay, and you might want to sign him the next season if he's not healthy and ready to go. But even at that, it does a lot for your team. It does a lot for your team. Look what it did for the Rams. It got him a Super Bowl, and it got him a touchdown.
Morale boosted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what certain guys just have, that ability. Like, call it what you want. If it wasn't for Baker Mayfield, the Browns would have still had it, because the Browns were depressed when he left. Like, depressed to the point in which they gave up on Baker Mayfield as a team. So, like, hey, I mean, the Giants still want him back. I mean, shit, Saquon, please let me get my boy back. So, like, obviously, he's not a locker room cancer. Yeah, he's a little emotional on the field because he cares a lot, but he's not a locker room cancer. Like, people want him to be around there, so bring him in.
I think he was in the past, but I think he's done some growing up. I think he's done a lot of growing up. I mean,
everyone's 23 at one point, and you're a receiver. Of course, you're gonna be a little bit of a little diva.
But like, the dude pissed and cried and kicked the football at himself. Like, come on, man. Like, that's the Odell I did not like. I knew you wanted to get out, but there's a better way to do it. Going to teams, come get me. Like, I don't want my star receiver saying that to other teams.
I mean, when Tom Brady does it, they call it passion. When OBJ does it, they call it diva. I'm just saying.
Tom Brady white, though, so you know the way that
I said it for a reason. Come on, let me get my let me get my read between the lines in there.
I'm happy with what you just said. I 100% agree, but
that's all.
Odell is a fucking diva. But I love me some Odell. Whatever team signs him, you are doing right.
Fly, Eagles, fly. So, that's where he's going. I'm telling you. Anyway, speaking of Tom Brady, Tom Brady's offensive line has obviously been letting him down all year. And now Tristan Wirfs is down. Y'all offensive line, y'all just keep getting hurt too. Which one of y'all offensive lines? I don't really know y'all offensive line situation as much. Which one of y'all offensive lines is in worse shape? And who has a better shot to deal with what they got to deal with?
Our whole line is fine. We didn't lose anybody.
Y'all just lost somebody. Y'all lost who y'all lost today? Y'all lost Max Mitchell today.
George Fant slides right in. We're fine. George Fant,
did y'all lose somebody in the beginning of the season too?
Becktie, but he's hurt every year because he's fat. Oh, and then Elijah Vera Tucker, but that O-line's
Vera Tucker.
Fine. That's fine. We've still been doing fine, no problem. I'm not worried about our O-line.
So the Bucs O-line is obviously the one then.
Absolutely. The record reflects it.
You saw it firsthand on Monday.
Oh yeah, bro. They look horrible. And first time I ever got to see Tom Brady play. It was the first time I ever saw Tom Brady play. I should have went. And it did not excite me. He was not making throws. He did not look in sync with his receivers. And the whole game, I'm thinking in my mind, who is the gnat on the Saints that is always pestering them and they can't get a play on his side of the field? It rhymes with Farshawn Schmattamore. Okay?
He wasn't there,
Marshawn Lattimore was not playing that game.
Yeah.
So what there's I don't know. I'm not trying to go down this Tom Brady rabbit hole with you, because I'm like, my head's in and I'm peeking in with you. But him and Mike Evans do not look like they like each other right now. There is something there.
Dog, I've been calling it all year.
There was a play because I told you my friend's a diehard Bucs fan. He's watching the game, and we watched Mike Evans go down.
He was wide open.
and was wide open and was walking away from the team as they were going back to the huddle.
I saw it on TV, so I can only imagine how y'all saw that.
Oh man, it's crazy to think that.
Yeah,
because that's a Hall of Famer right there too. That's
but
another Hall of
who his
Famer
boy
right there.
is.
Mike
Chris
Evans.
Godwin is his boy, and Julio Jones is his boy. Like he loves Chris. And AB, he loved AB. He loves Julio. He loves Chris Godwin. Like he loved Gronk. Like I don't know, for whatever reason, if that's his boy, that's his boy. Like for real. And I know Godwin is his boy more than Mike Evans. Mike Evans does drop the ball here and there more than he should. But he makes, all those over the shoulder throws, he catches everything on the sideline. Like, I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely, I wouldn't say something's brewing because it's still Tom Brady at the end of the day. It's not Russell Wilson. So he still won them a Super Bowl like 2 years ago. So they still have that fresh in their minds. But
it looked horrible. I can't believe that's what was given to me that day. Like I wanted to see. I mean, at the end, we got to see it, but
yeah, no, you didn't get to see it. Don't you dare call that one.
No. I'm saying as a whole, you got to see it, but like me, no, absolutely not.
They're two sub 500 teams, plain and simple.
But even at that, even at that, if Mark Ingram didn't fuck up the first down, like we've been talking a different game right now.
Exactly.
That made no sense to me.
Exactly.
And I know he just tore his ACL, and that sucks, but
yeah. But like you're only as good as your record. And it's always proves it every year. Like you have excuse after excuse after excuse, right? The Bucks are 500 because they played 500 football all year. Plain and simple. The Saints are 4-9 because they suck. And they have the most injuries. They have the most games missed by injury more than anybody in the whole league, and they clear everybody by like 30 games or something like that. So it is what it is. Like you are what your record is, and I do. Yeah, of course you're going to see bad football, and they've sucked all year. Tom Brady don't look the same.
And if you're one of those people to piggyback off of what you say, if you're that person that you have excuses for your team, that's what you listen to this podcast for. So we can bring you down to light, bro. Bring you to the light and see.
He keeps it real.
Shit.
I've been very real about everything when it comes to Philly.
I'll tell you when my team sucks.
Bruh, Kevin Durant.
When my team sucks.
I'll let you know. I told you the Cowboys terrify me. I'm being dead serious. I am mortified by the Dallas Cowboys, but that's neither here nor there. Let's stop talking about injuries. Let's stop talking about football. We'll get to pick'ems later. It's probably A-Rod's one of A-Rod's few holidays that he has, one of them being the hot stove. The hot stove, if you're not aware of what the hot stove is, and that shit starts to heat up in the MLB. The owners meet and the players are getting traded.
And we haven't gotten to the winter meetings yet.
And let me talk about Mr. Aaron Judge.
You want me to talk my shit first?
Go ahead. I don't need to talk. I'll get to Trea Turner in them, but you can talk about Aaron Judge. It's a big signing. He bent them over the barrel and beat their ass. 9 years, 360. Jeez Louise.
Deserves every bit of it.
Bruh.
Deserves every bit of it because they probably could have got him for cheaper, but they decided not to extend it before the season started. And who had the last laugh at the end?
He who laughs best.
Almost was John Heyman. John Heyman almost gave me a heart attack yesterday. And my background's because the motherfucker doesn't know how to tweet. He said, Arson Judge signs with San Francisco Giants. My phone immediately got 30 text messages. Sorry for your loss. My friends, kill me, hang me now. I can't deal with this. I was about to cry. And then I was like, something doesn't smell right. Something doesn't, because Twitter's roasting this guy for saying Arson Judge.
Yeah.
And then the beat writer for the Yankees came out and said, no, that's false. There's still contact going on. And he's a favorite. And then it comes a report, and I don't know where these motherfuckers have all this money from. There's got to be a little leprechaun somewhere with a pot of gold in San Diego that has all this money to sign anybody. And I'm sitting like, how does San Diego have this money to do it? They're not the Dodgers. They've been bad for so many years, and you get two good players.
California money is for real.
You can sign every big tech companies, boy. But yeah, it's beautiful to have this man back, and I'm happy for him because he deserves everything he deserves. And the Yankees fucked up. Like I said, they should have paid him beginning of the season like he wanted. He didn't want to go into the season without a contract. He didn't want to talk about the contract. In good faith, he settled for arbitration for $19.8 million for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Kept his head in the game, did everything he needed to do. And I'm happy for him. You need that guy. That's a player that's puts people in the stands, that keeps faith in the organization.
I mean, it's the Yankees. They don't have to worry about betting people in the stands. Come on now.
They don't. But you lose a guy like that, and your franchise, your people will be up in arms. And you just signed Cashman to a 4-year deal. If he would have whiff and miss on that, they'd have been asking for his head.
But the Yankees are still the Yankees. Like, their fans, y'all got so much history. Y'all be like, all right. Like, I heard one of my coworkers, he was like, well, if he doesn't want to sign with us, he's a bitch and he should go. We don't need him. I was like, all right, that's the energy I want to see.
Come listen to the podcast. Come listen to the podcast, bro. If we don't win the division if he doesn't sign there. We're third best at that. So I don't want to hear that. But it's beautiful. Like you said, 9 years, $360 million, and everything worth it, man. And we're not done yet because we got pitching we got to worry about now, and there's some other free agents we got to sign too. So,
all right,
I'm happy for it.
I do got to say something.
Talk about you.
I'm gonna get to it.
You got two to talk.
I'm gonna get to it. I do got to say something though. Did you see that report that the MLB used 3 different baseballs this past season?
What a bunch of snakes. What a bunch of snakes.
But they said the Yankees benefited the most from the baseballs that can go, which probably contributed to Mr. 62 for your boy.
Should have paid him before the season started. Should have paid him before the season started. Shame on baseball. Shame on baseball. Like, come on, what are you doing, really?
They already denied it, obviously. But a doctor or an astrophysicist, he tested them out. He took random samples. The man you don't put out this report if you're lying. You don't put this report as a maybe. This is real shit.
What have we been preaching? What have we been preaching about baseball? Rob Manfred is the worst in all of sport.
Yep.
He's so bad. And you saw when he was giving it to that reporter that one time. What was it during what was it that we were talking about that one time? Was it before the lockout started?
Yeah.
When the lockout was starting in the reporter, and he was just like throwing it at the reporter. I was like, yo, this is, you don't see what's the NBA's commissioner's name? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Silver.
The ghostly guy. Adam Silver. You don't see Adam Silver doing that. You don't see the NFL guy doing that either. You don't see anybody doing that. It's a bad look.
Yeah.
Freaking homeboy from the NFL gets it all the time and rolls with the punches. Gets the boos when he goes up there. Still makes us laugh in a commercial here or two, but gets those boos.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it happened, whatever, it is what it is. If they benefited, they benefited. What do they always say? Chicks dig the long ball. They do. And the Yankees made a lot of money for baseball this year, having to always cut to the, towards the end of the year, everyone's tuning in. They're trying to see 62. Everyone's going to the game. They're trying to catch 62. Like, obviously, it's a big deal. So, baseball's going to do what baseball does, and, it is what it is.
My friend told me, he was like, what does that do for judges' morale and that? I was like, who cares? He got paid, right? Yeah. That's what it did for him.
He got the bag, bro. He's chilling.
That's not his fault. Yankees fucked up, like I keep saying. Yeah. Pay that man now. Man.
He got the bag. Give it to him, man. I'm happy for him. But obviously, the Phillies, the NL East, the NL champions, the team that was in the World Series and should have won, but cheating ass Astros had to come and do what they had to do, and Yordan Alvarez is for real, and Penny is for real, and all that shit's for real. But we got to put a stop to that shit. I said it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago. You can find the footage. I said we getting Trea Turner. Y'all know that, right? Like, it was a done deal. I have said
he already said he wanted to come back.
Huh?
He said he wanted. He already said he wanted to come out east.
Yeah, it only makes sense. And I'm reading like, where are we gonna play him? I don't give a damn. Shortstop, second, I don't give a shit. we good, bro. We need you. We got you. We happy. I love that pickup. I like the Matt Strong pickup a lot. I'm okay with Walker. Tijuana Walker. Tijuana Walker. I mean, we poached him from the Mets, who, even though they lost DeGrom, which that was shocking. I mean, the Rangers.
That's very shocking.
The Rangers.
But the Rangers are putting together a team. They're putting a contending team.
Blew my mind. But they got Verlander. Somehow they went and got Verlander. So for me, I'm like, yo, we need to get everything we could get. So I'm happy with Trey. I'm happy with Strong. I'm good with Walker. At the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, it comes down to your pitching. I don't care how much hitting you got. The pitching is what's going to win you a World Series. When the dogs come to play in October and November, our lineup is, we lost what's his name to the Rays. God, what is his name?
Eflin.
Yes, Zach Eflin to the Rays. So I get to go see him firsthand now.
Declined the $16 million option.
Yeah. Hey.
To be the highest paid free agent by the Rays.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 40
the
mil.
Highest paid?
40 mil. Free agent.
3 years, 40 mil, right?
Highest paid free agent signing.
That's fucking incredible.
40 mil. Not their biggest contract, just the highest free agent signing.
Speaking of the Rays, so I was watching some show, I forgot what it was, on ESPN or Fox Sports or one of those things, and they compared the Tennessee Titans to the Tampa Bay Rays because of the whole AJ Brown situation. They say, yeah, just like the Rays, once it's time to pay the player, they ship them off. And I was like, damn, the Rays got a reputation like that. Because it's true. Like, yo, AJ Brown was a nice test case of them when keeping it real goes wrong. Like, they said, yo, we're just going to keep it real, man. We don't want to pay that money. And then he goes, gets you for 2 touchdowns, 150+ yards, 9 catches, and they got the GM fired. So, but the difference between the Titans and the Rays, though, is that to me, the Rays are a little bit well-ran of an organization. From they do their statistics and they do their data and they do all their shit. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. Small market, it is what it is. But yeah, it's funny how to see the Rays. That's their biggest contract, bro. That's funny. Teams are giving up $300 million, $275 million, $40 million for Mr. Eflin.
Wilson Alvarez, I think, got back in like '98. He got $39.9 million from to leave the White Sox. So,
hey, yo.
It's what it is, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, to fill you in on some of the free agent signings, Jacob deGrom is leaving the Mets, going to take his talents to the Rangers. Mitch Haniger is leaving Seattle, signing with San Fran. They're trying to put together a team over there. Cardinals just signed Wilson Contreras today to be the catcher. Jamison Tyler is not signing with the Yankees. He's signing with the Cubs and getting paid. I'm happy for him.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay.
Your pitching's already suffering as it is, so
if we get Rondon, I'll be happy. It's a big upgrade right there. Who else has moved on?
Y'all got $300 million people on contract. That's incredible. You texted me, where do we find our money when we signed Trey? I'm like, y'all.
Yankees, the Yankees.
You got no room to talk.
No, I got nothing to say, but that's expected from us. The Padres, come on.
I said we didn't do Yankees, y'all. We didn't do Yankees.
Got money too. Justin Verlander is leaving the Houston Astros and signing with the Mets. Josh Bell signed with the Indians today, or yesterday, I think it was.
It was yesterday, yeah.
What am I missing? There's got to be somebody else. I know the stove is still, like, winter meetings haven't even happened yet. And that's what shit gets spicy.
They haven't even happened yet. You said Contreras.
Tasanaga Yoshida signs with the Boston Red Sox, so you get some hitting now out of that.
They also got Kelly Jansen.
Signs with the Red Sox too.
That was a big move. I like that.
That is a good move. He's not the same player he used to be, but he still throws a hell of a fastball and a changeup.
Yeah,
I think that's all he throws.
I know. I always every time I tune into a what do you call it? Oh my God, TV, whatever, a stream or whatever the word you want to use. They're always talking about he's going through that changeup. He going through the same pitch here. I was like, I know.
Catcher, he's a converted catcher. He's a converted catcher, but he's unhittable sometimes. I know that there's a lot of big names out there still. Carlos Correa is there. Xander Bogaerts is there. Dansby Swanson is there still.
What interesting rumors have you heard?
Diamondbacks really, really want Xander Bogaerts.
Arizona
really wants him, but Boston is doing everything they can to keep him, as they should. Pay that man. Another player that should have paid before the season started.
Look, if they learned anything from Mookie Betts,
and another interesting thing is the Cubs. The Cubs are willing to sign 2 of those players and shift 1 to third. So if you sign Correa, there's no way he's moving to third. He's your shortstop. Mm-hmm. And Bogaerts, when he was brought up, played third. So it could be interesting to see Bogaerts and him playing the left side of the field, or Swanson making that shift over. It'd be crazy to see all of that.
The Red Sox broke.
Yo, I ask Townie all the time, what is going on? It's just
they got money, right?
They do have money. I don't know. I think they're trying to bank on their young talent and put together a core of young guys again, and then build around it. But it ain't working right now for you.
I don't understand. They try to be like the Rays or something. It ain't gonna work for y'all, bro. I'm sorry. That's a rare example of Moneyball that can actually get you just far enough, right? I don't know what Boston is doing. I mean, again, have they not learned from Mookie Betts? Like, have they not learned anything from that situation?
Mookie didn't want to be there. Mookie didn't want to be there, though. Like, Xander wants to be there.
They didn't even try to act like they wanted him.
Yeah, I mean, I told Sammy that, like, you did get Alex Verdugo back, and that's a good player, but it's no Mookie Betts, so I understand that. And they got a lot back in return in the haul, but set him back, man. That might be the new curse that takes on the Red Sox right there.
Oh, God.
Getting rid of Mookie Betts. That could be it, man.
The curse of the Bambino. The curse of the Mookie.
Yeah, man. But winter meetings haven't started yet. There's a lot of big name players that are still out there. Carlos Rondon is out there still. Andrew Benintendi is out there still.
I'm definitely curious about where Correa goes.
Correa, yeah, he's the big one that now has to fall. And who would have thought Jacob deGrom would be the first domino to drop?
Bruh, Texas, I thought my phone was broken. I was like, why? What's wrong? What's wrong with this freaking app, bro?
It's crazy to think, but I have my own conspiracy behind that. Why he didn't re-sign with the Mets? You want to hear it?
Why?
So, how many games has he pitched in like the last 2 years? I think it's like 20 games, and before that, he's always hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, as a player, if I'm your best player and you can't keep me healthy, what am I doing here? If I can't do what I like to do, what am I doing here? Why are you wanting me to pitch 9 innings every game for me to get hurt?
He's blaming the team for that?
I'm saying training. I'm blaming the training staff for that. That's my own perception, is like the training staff is just shitty. They don't know how to manage the guy. They go on a winning streak and they see, what do I say every year when we talk baseball? The DeGrom effect. The DeGrom effect is, I will pitch my heart out for you 9 innings of 1-run ball or 0-run ball, and all I need you guys to do is get 1 or 2 runs. And they can't do that.
Yeah.
So I think it just finally caught up with him, and he was like, you know what? I'm done here. Fuck this. Can't keep me healthy. I only pitched 20 games the last 2 years. I should have been, when he came back, he should have been the Cy Young winner both times. Should have been the Cy Young winner both years.
Yeah.
But he only pitched X amount of games. So
he's a dog, bro. Again, as a Phillies fan, I'm always having to pay attention to New York, Atlanta. Sometimes I peak was going down there in Miami, but it's boring. So I'm all, you see the games, the stuff that he brings. I'm like, he's pretty damn good, man. He's as advertised. So that's why I was surprised he would go to the. I mean, it's gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna work. Sometimes you just need that change, and that change goes a long way. So,
they're putting together a team there. It looks pretty good, but the one question I have for you is, and a lot of people have been like talking about it. Do you think Justin Verlander is worth 2 years, $86.66 million?
so how old is Verlander? With 38,
I think he's 40.
40? All right. So Von Miller just got a 5-year, 60. I mean, $160 million contract at his old age. Like sometimes you pay that old man what you got to pay him. Who cares, bro? You know why? Because you know what could come out of it.
But why? Verlander's 39. He'll be 40.
Okay.
But why?
He was just in the World Series. He just won another World.
And what else did he win?
It don't matter. He had a good season.
He won a Cy Young.
Cy Young. And he won a Cy Young.
He won them both.
So why
yes,
would you give him? He's still killing, bro.
Exactly. Who gives a fuck about the age? If Von Miller fails,
just help the Rams win the Super Bowl. Of course, I was going to give Von Miller that money. Verlander just helped his team win the World Series and win a Cy Young. Of course. What do you want to do? Like, come on. Like, hey, it ain't my money. Y'all, that's y'all money. If y'all can afford them, pay the man. Like, shit. So yeah, I'm happy for Verlander. I wish he just went somewhere else, like just anywhere else, just not there. But basically, they're just swapping DeGrom for Verlander. So it is what it is. I'm okay with it. Max Scherzer is going to be fine.
It just sucks because DeGrom has more in the tank. He could have been your cornerstone of pitching for that team for a very long time.
Why I'm actually a little bit okay with the move, because I don't have to worry about him anymore ever again. Maybe a World Series down the line, but I don't have to worry about him ever. So this is
what's crazy though is he wanted to move closer to Florida, where he's from, and I heard the Braves were in all on him, but like they got too many contracts. We got to worry about
way too much shit going on in Atlanta.
And I heard the Rays called them, and they were like, "Hey, Jacob, it's hello."
Hello.
Like, we're good. And Miami, who knows what's going on in Miami? They're putting together something really good slowly, but pitching is okay. You don't need DeGrom there, even though it is DeGrom. Yeah, he probably will. But
speaking of the Rays, they're one of the teams in on Andrew McCutchen. I'd like to see that. That seems like a Rays move to make right now. Go get Andrew McCutchen.
That would be. That would be, but I don't think McCutchen wants to. Even though I know he is from Florida, I don't think he wants to come here.
He got the Dodgers on the phone. He got Milwaukee on the phone. The Reds are on the phone.
I hope he goes to like a real contender.
Come on now. I would love to see McCutchen play a few times next season.
I would too.
I mean, to me, but he fits. He fits right now what the Rays are. He fits the Rays to me right now. So
he would.
Yeah,
he would.
I would like that.
All he would be is he'd be trade leverage. That's all he would be at the beginning, in the middle of the season for them. That's all he would be.
Oh well, he's 36. He's 36.
What's he going to play? Be DH? Probably just DH. That's it.
Fine.
Or they'll tell him we want you to play first base and be like, fuck.
No. Well, they got rid of G-Man Choi. Who's first base now? Damn, my boy G-Man Choi. I'm gonna miss my dog.
He's gone. He's gone.
Oh, well. All right. Really quickly, just two more things before we get to our little pick'ems. Reaction. Deion Sanders. I know we were high on him trying to get to USF. Obviously knew that wasn't going to happen. So he signs with Colorado, which not the best job. I looked at a list earlier today. They ranked the 17 job openings this year through college football. They ranked the Colorado job 8. They ranked the USF job 9. So it wasn't that much better of a job, but he's there. But now he's getting huge backlash from the HBCU community and people who support HBCUs and stuff like that. What is your overall reaction about him going to the University of Colorado?
He said it best. Like, your job as a head coach is to progress. It's pretty much his elegant way of saying it. I forgot how he said it, but I got no shame in that. Look what he did for those programs. You thought he was going to be a lifer there? He's Deion fucking Sanders. He flew into jets to games.
Come on, man.
Come on. He literally walked into that facility and told the kids, I'm unpacking my bags and it's a lot of Louis. He later then went on a press conference call or a press release with the team and said, oh, that's y'all's quarterback? Oh, he's going to have to work for that job. Like, he's not there to fuck around. Deion's not there to fuck around. Deion is like, what head coaching has he done before he did Jackson State? Some Pop Warner shit.
No, he did high school. He was actually one of the better coaches in Texas. He coached high school football in the state of Texas. That is a big deal. Big deal. And he was good at it.
Okay. So, all right. Give it to him and Jeff Saturday, NFL coach, high school coach.
The difference is that he's working his way up properly.
He is. And I agree. And there's no shame in it. I'm just really mad at USF. Because whatever Colorado, they must have threw some Rocky Mountain gold his way, man.
You know what they said? They don't even have the money that they're supposed to pay him yet. They don't even have all the money together yet. So they don't even have the money to pay him. And they're still like, look, we're going to pay you this.
Bro. Doesn't matter. Like,
here's your jet.
Matters is you know how good his recruiting is going to be. He is going to get kids from Florida. He is going to get kids from Texas.
He's already got the transfer portal on fire. Like your little picture behind you. The transfer portal is on fire. All Colorado commits.
A lot of kids there too.
Yeah.
A lot of kids. That kid Richardson from Florida, transfer portal. Wouldn't be surprised to see him play in Colorado.
Well, Anthony Richardson?
Colorado.
No, he's going to the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to. I thought he said enter the transfer portal.
He declared for the draft.
Okay. All right. Well, all I know is USC, watch out. I mean, y'all got blown out the other night, but.
All right. How did you feel about that? I know that hurt, right? I know that hurt you.
It did hurt. But karma is a bitch. Don't put F Utah on your fingernails like a little hoe and go out there and look like shit. And
Caleb, come on, Caleb.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Caleb Williams, I knew who he was. I knew he was a starting quarterback for USC. And I knew he was good. But until those last 3 games that just happened, like I didn't really hear that much of him throughout the whole season.
Oh no, he's been balling. They just it's a brand new team for him, and he balled.
It is
good ball.
It is. But
and the thing is, like you were hearing like the Tennessee quarterback. You're hearing the Texas TCU quarterback a lot more. Yeah. You're obviously hearing about Ohio CJ Stroud. So like, you're hearing Stroud, those names before you get to them. Yeah, Bryce.
Absolutely. So I know the kid's been playing good. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just saying like his name got thrown out. Those last 3 games have been thrown out more, and like, oh, he's the Heisman candidate.
Because
and as soon as that, he's injuries because he has linked injuries too.
Tennessee quarterback went down. Blake Corum didn't even get invited, which I'm very mad about, to the Heisman. He was the best player in college football this year, in my opinion. I'm obviously biased with Go Blue. Number 2 in the nation. Take on TCU in about a month. Just so y'all know. All right. Anyway, but yeah,
it sucked, but you get what you get.
Yeah.
Like, team play like shit. Don't be cocky. Go out there and win a game. Show them why you are a Heisman candidate. That FU Utah shit. But what did Utah ever do to him?
But he did it for for the last few of his games, though. So like, that was his motivation to kind of make him play better. Obviously, it didn't work. Utah beat him twice this year, by the way. It wasn't like it was a fluke. Like Utah, you know what I equivalated it to? The fact that right in the summertime, college football went crazy, where USC and UCLA was like, we going to the Big Ten, right? I feel like Oregon, Utah, all these Pac-12 teams, like, we got to hold it down for our conference. And Utah put that shit on their back. They lost that opening week to Florida, and it was embarrassing and blase. But after that, like, Utah went on a little tear, and they're like, we got to hold it down for the Pac-12. And to beat USC twice in one season, that's a big kudos to Utah for that. Big. So they held it down for the Pac-12 on that one.
So with the Final Four, do you think college football got it right?
Ohio State has no business being in that 4th spot. First of all. Second of all, TCU, why does USC lose and get kicked out of the playoffs? TCU lose and they get the 3 seed? Can you explain that to me? Like, I don't mind playing TCU as a Michigan fan, but why in the hell are they allowed to lose, but USC is not allowed to lose? Like, what was the difference? They both lost. So college football is very strange when it comes to like this whole playoff situation, because all it matters is when you lose. Oh, you lost week 1 doesn't hurt you as much if you lose week 12, and who you lose to and by how many points. Like you had, and I love Nick Saban, but Nick Saban that night before
I still think Bama could beat Ohio State, and I still think Bama could beat TCU.
I agree. But Nick Saban going on TV the night before begging to get into the playoffs was one of the saddest shits I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking sad.
I'm like, yo, dog, you know who made him do that? He didn't want to do that. All them damn boosters, they said, Nick, we need you to go beg. Like, we don't give you all this booster money, NIL money, for y'all to come in the 5th seed and have to play in the damn New Year's 6 bowl, whatever that bullshit is, right? So I just think the whole situation is stupid. I think this year would be the year. We don't need to see TCU or Ohio State. It should just be Michigan, Georgia, like they used to do in the old days, BCS bullshit. Back in the BCS days, we already know who the 2 best teams in the country is, right? Georgia and Michigan in the last 2 years have combined for 3 losses. Okay? 3. So we already know who the 2 best teams are. Screw all the other shit to me. But did they get it right? I mean, shit. Ohio State maybe deserved to be in there. They lost 1 game to the number 2 team. I'll give them that. But like TCU, I don't see the difference of them losing and then everybody else losing, and it hurts. So it's a little, it's weird, but I'll give them credit. They did what they're supposed to do. But go blue. We gonna get that rematch with Georgia. That's all I know. We gonna get that rematch with Georgia. And Mr. Harbaugh, we here for blood. We are here for war, revenge, and blood, and sweat, and tears.
Got no beef with it.
Every year there's that one team in the playoffs that get blown out, right? TCU, we about to blow that ass out. Pause. Knock on wood. We gonna beat their ass. That's all I'm gonna say.
Didn't you guys get blown out one time in a 4?
Yeah, by Georgia
in the final.
We want that. We want that shit back. We gotta run it back. We gotta run it back.
That Georgia pack, man.
They were yo, them SEC boys, man. Who are we? It was so sad to watch. I was like, damn, they fast. Them boys in the sophomore, they fast.
I think I texted you one thing. You said don't say shit. I was like, all right, my bad. It was pretty bad.
It's all right, man. We coming back next year. I mean, this year. We coming back in January. Actually, no, next year. We coming back in January. We ready. We ready for the Georgia Bulldog, but we ain't looking ahead. We worried about Texas Christian, and we'll take it from there. Beat them little boys in purple. We got that.
The purple boys.
Purple boys.
The horn frogs. The horn frogs.
The horn frog. What the hell is a horn frog? You think I was a Wolverine versus a horn frog? Come on, man. What you talking about? Now the Bulldogs is tough. Bulldogs is tough. Don't get me wrong. A Buckeye, I don't know what a Buckeye is, but a horn frog. Oh, come on, man. I ain't concerned. We gonna make it do what it do, baby. Let's get it.
All right, what's next? What we got next?
World Cup. Who winning?
Oh man. This is tough,
first
bro.
of all,
like I could talk about.
What happened to USA last week?
USA, I don't want to say they choked. They just played a really good Netherlands team. That's just it. Netherlands has a very, very, very good team. Historically, they've never won a World Cup, but they're always a powerhouse. And Memphis is that dude, whether he's in his 30s or whatever. He was a decoy the whole exactly. Boy got some bars too, man. And he used to date Steve Harvey's daughter. And I think Rihanna too. Yeah, I think so. I know he dated Steve Harvey's daughter.
News to me.
And he got a little mixtape out there too.
Hey, you light skinned, bro.
Um, but Memphis is that dude, and he was a decoy the entire World Cup. He was coming off the bench for a hamstring injury that he had. So for him to start and score immediately, all I can say for the US, like, I'm happy for them. They did good. They got to the knockout stage. This is the first year that this team is playing with each other. So I think me, Vic, and Sammy are in a chat. And we talk soccer all the time. We think that the 2026 team will look a lot better because they will have rapport with each other a lot more, and they're going to be in their prime.
And they're gonna be playing at home.
And they'll be playing at home, and they turned a lot of heads in this World Cup. To shut out England 0-0, that's big. That is big. And realistically, they could have probably tied the Netherlands and went to penalty kicks, but Pulisic missed a wide open shot.
The goal that they gave up right before the first half ended, that was a backbreaker. To go, because they went up 2-0 going into the half. Oh, it's over after that. Even if they score immediately, that one goal was the one that broke the camel's back, in my opinion. And it was just the momentum. Like, you go into the locker room feeling good being down 1-0. You go into the locker room down 2-0, It's like, damn.
You know what's sucked about that goal is Tyler Adams was to be the one to credit for that goal. Like, he fucked up on the change there.
Yeah.
So it was Tyler Adams' fault, and I've been praising him the entire World Cup. Out of that, like, still our best player. But these guys got to learn to kick straighter, not field goals, and be more aggressive. And I'm proud of them. I was rooting for them to beat the Netherlands. They could have done it. There was opportunity for them to do it, but
I mean, they had control in that first half. I mean, I thought they were playing excellent football. It's just
Virgil's that man, bro. He's 6'5", 6'5" out there playing, and then their goalie was not the normal guy. It was his first World Cup appearance, and he's 6'8". So freaking Shaq Squatch out there guarding it. So
Ron James out there playing. You know what I equivalent the U.S. soccer team to? Look at it from this lens, right? You know, what is our best sport in from an Olympic World Cup world game kind of standpoint? What do we beat everybody in? Basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've been playing basketball since 1896. The NBA has been around since 75 years, right? We are so far advanced from a basketball standpoint, right? And the world is just now starting to catch up to it. I mean, it took until 2004 for us to get a bronze, right? And on the flip side, we are the team that's trying to catch up to the world when it comes to soccer. It's going to take a while, and we're just starting to inch a little bit closer. But like, in the grand scheme of things, from like a world view, in a basketball standpoint, we're Latvia. We're you know what I mean? We're not France yet. We're not Spain.
Yeah. We're with the pack though. We're in the top.
We're 20. Argentina, maybe. No, we're Greece. we're
not
close.
We're not Argentina.
But you know what I mean, though, right?
We're in the top 20. We're in the top 20, which is good. So that's something to hang our hats on.
So those other teams you mentioned in basketball.
What's that?
But that's what I'm trying to say. There's top 20, but like, we're not ready to win. Like, Greece is not ready to win no FIBA championship. Brazil's not ready. But Spain might, you know what I'm saying? But like, we're not Spain yet as far as like from a basketball standpoint compared, in basketball. You know what I mean? But we're getting there. I like the team that they put together. I like that they're going to start playing more with each other. I like that the game is being taken more seriously now. You can see that there's a shift in American sports. Like, you read all this stuff and you see all this stuff. If our best athletes decided to play soccer, we would kill everybody in soccer. Like, let's be honest. Tyreek Hill was playing soccer. OBJ was playing soccer. Chad Johnson was playing soccer. Like, all these fast-ass, well-coordinated people playing soccer. You got big dudes in the back, like LeBron James playing goalie. You got big defensive men, like, being tough. Like Aaron Donald and TJ Watt playing defense or some shit like that. We beat everybody.
Bodies will look different. These bodies look different on these boys. I just want you to know
I
that they
know,
were
I know. I'm
playing.
just saying, but you know what I mean. Though, like our best athletes don't play soccer in America. The best athlete in Spain and England are playing soccer. The best athlete in Brazil is playing soccer. Our best athlete playing football and then baseball, or football and then basketball and then baseball, and then hockey and soccer are competing for the rest of everybody else. So,
I get you. I have no quarrel with that. But our players are getting noticed, and I like that. A lot of people or a lot of franchises are looking at us. A lot of clubs are looking at them, and some kids could make the leap from MLS to the Champions League, all of those different leagues that could jump around. We'll see. I shouldn't even say it, not really. The guys who played well already have contracts overseas, and they're okay.
Everybody and Pulisic, come to Manchester United, baby.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there with that. That's an interesting one that'll happen.
Speaking of Manchester United, what's up with your boy Ronaldo, man? Like, for real.
We'll get to him. We're going down the list now. So Netherlands beats the USA 3-1. Argentina against Australia. I think everybody had that coming, but 2-1.
My goat doing well.
Netherlands versus Argentina is going to be that match. They're playing Friday, I believe. France takes care of Poland 3-1. Mbappe's fucking crazy.
He's crazy. He's a young goat for real.
Yeah, he's only 23 too. England 3-0 against Senegal. So France is going to play England Friday as well, I believe. I think they both play Friday. That's going to be a great matchup right there.
I know. I'm sad it's already happening.
I'm praying France wins. I'm a big France supporter. France, Brazil, and Portugal are like my guys. So,
Portugal, gross. Let's go Morocco.
Yo, Portugal, we're gonna get there.
Let's go Morocco.
Hey, well, we're gonna get to that because I'm going for Morocco. So
let's go.
Japan, Croatia. Croatia beats them in PKs.
Crazy, Japan, by the way. I mean, this World Cup has had everything.
Japan did not know how to kick a PK, bro.
They didn't even try to know how to do anything with this.
It was ridiculous. Brazil, mollywop South Korea, and I've never seen a team have so much fun playing a sport like Brazilians do. They even get the coach doing the dance with them. So I love watching Brazil soccer. I'm always a big Brazil supporter. I'm a huge Neymar fan. Richarlison's doing his thing. Junior's doing his thing. It just sucks as my favorite player, Gabi Jesus, is out towards ACL, so he's not going to be playing. That's also a big hurt for Arsenal. So now we got Croatia playing Brazil on Saturday. Morocco and Spain. Holy shit. Because Spain is a powerhouse, and they've got some kids that are young, and this team is going to look good. And it's going to have to be the next World Cup. But Morocco, holy shit. That goalie is the man.
Who saw that shit coming?
Inshallah, bro. Inshallah, man. Me and Sammy were going. I was like making sure Sammy was okay because he's Moroccan.
Oh, that's big. Right.
It's big for him. And the best thing. So I'm a big PSG supporter, and the guy who kicks the winning goal, Hakimi. I love it. And you know what, even another funny thing, he was born in Spain. He could have played for Spain, but chose Morocco.
That's what's up.
Even
man.
better.
That's what's up, man. I gotta give. Hey, you know, I'm here for the African countries. You know, obviously, I prefer my West African countries to have been a lot better. But you know, I'm always going to stand up for Team Africa. That's just natural for me. I would have loved to see a Spain versus Portugal matchup. Obviously, it makes sense, you know. That's a little rivalry bullshit, you know. That would have been cool. But hey, I'm Team Morocco with this one. You know, your GOAT Ronaldo is not even playing, man. What's up with that? Cuz what's up with
Portugal that? 6-1. So yeah, that one's a crazy one. Age is catching up to him, man. That's what it is, and I don't want to believe it because that's my favorite player. But Giancarlo Ramos he's the man. He scored a hat trick. I think he's the youngest person to do it in the World Cup. So that's crazy to do that. Kid is really, really good. And me, Sammy, and Vic talk about it all the time. It's Ronaldo's ability to not change his style of play. Like, instead of being a striker, going to the midfield. And that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
So
Carmelo Anthony syndrome.
Yeah. So regardless, you're going to get fresh legs off the bench. It doesn't matter, but these boys are good. And for him to take the torch from Ronaldo, like this kid is young. He's going to be doing things there. There's a lot of good players on that Portugal team. And, this is Ronaldo's last World Cup. He got a goal in it. So he scored the most goals in the World Cup. Happy for him for that. I want to see him obviously do better. But you're going to have to shift your style of play.
Like, what happens if it's Portugal versus Argentina in the final? They got to start him.
You
have to start him. Like, come on now.
But that would probably be the most.
That will break the internet, break TV, that'll break every record, bro.
That would break everything if it's Messi versus Ronaldo in the World Cup. That's all they've been wanting.
I might cry if that happens. That's in my lifetime. We're supposed to. You get to tell your kids about shit like this. I can't wait to tell my son about this one.
What if it went down to PKs and they were the last ones to go?
That's too much, bro. That's too much.
That would be crazy.
Who's the GOAT? I'm the GOAT.
Dude, it was insane, but it's an interesting World Cup. If you had to tell me who is going to be at the end, I'm going to tell you, I'm going Brazil versus France. That's what I'm going to go with. That would be my final.
Lionel Messi.
Huh?
Lionel Messi versus France.
That's what you think?
France is on that side. Oh, yeah. Lionel Messi versus France.
You can do that because they're going to have to if
hold up. 1, 2.
You would have to pick out of the Croatia, Brazil, Morocco, or Portugal to go against Messi. Because France is going to.
Oh, they're on that. No, because I'm looking at the bracket right now. Argentina. Yeah, they could do it. Look at the bracket.
Trying to find it.
I want Argentina versus France.
Oh, it flips. Okay, yeah. I still say Brazil versus France. Yeah.
Give me Messi versus France. Let's get it.
Okay.
Messi versus Mbappe? Dog, come on, man. That's young GOAT versus new GOAT. I mean, old GOAT versus young GOAT. But that's what we want to see.
Teammates.
PSG, right?
Or Neymar versus Mbappe.
Yeah, but Brazil, Neymar's ankle okay and all that shit.
Neymar's fine. Ain't no problem with Neymar. And that team is having fun.
Lionel Messi is about to put his stamp on the game.
He gonna do
it for Pele.
We'll see. If anyone's doing it for Pele, it's Brazil. If anyone's doing it for Pele, it's Brazil, bro.
I know.
Ain't gonna be Messi.
I know.
All right, let's wrap it up, man. Let's talk World Cup.
Let's do some pick'ems.
All right.
We're gonna start off in the AFC North. The Mr. Deshaun Watson will be visiting Mr. Joe Burrow. Kick it off.
Bengals, give it to me.
I'm with you. The Vikings will be visiting the favorited Detroit Lions.
Man, my team almost beat the Vikings. And I'm a big Dan Campbell fan.
I should have beat the damn Vikings. I'm pissed off at y'all.
I'm pissed off that we didn't either. I blame it more on Corey Davis that we didn't.
Jeez.
Did you see Sauce Gardner that game, bro? He is so good, bro.
I can't wait. I can't wait for him to get older in this league. Like his swag is only going to grow.
I feel like he has no swag, but he has swag. Like
he's from Detroit. It's natural, baby. It's natural.
Goofy. He's just like all the time, bro. But he's so swaggy,
he's
bro.
Natural.
You know why he has a swag? I say because first interview of the season was from Little Johnny, and Johnny's like, "My dad said I can eat ice cream." The Jets,
y'all gonna be eating a lot of ice cream.
Y'all gonna be eating a lot of ice cream this year. I was like, damn.
Detroit, baby, it's natural.
All right. Oh man, it's hard for me to root against Dan Campbell.
I picked the Lions. I don't care.
I'm taking the Vikings only because Kirk Cousins playing for sub this week.
The only reason why the game is in Detroit, the Vikings have won. Like they've been in 9 one-score games this year, bro. This shit has to end at some point. All this lucky ass shit that they've been getting. I got Dan Campbell on that one. All right, Ravens at the Steelers. It's gonna be Huntley though.
Give me Huntley. Give me the Ravens and Huntley.
Man, brother, I'm going with the Steelers, man. No, yeah, I'm going with the Steelers, man.
You
I'm
saw
going
Mike
with.
Tomlin the other day to the fan. You saw what he said to the fan?
I'm fucking working.
I'm fucking working.
I'm going with my dog. I'm going with my dog, Mike T. I don't care, bro.
I
I'm
love Mike.
going with Mike T.
I'm fucking working.
All right. Tom Brady returns to San Francisco, where we kind of grew up in, or whatever, kind of his hometown or something like that. Tampa Bay at 49ers. Now it's Brock Purdy. Now it's not Jimmy G. God, that would have been a good game. Tom versus Jimmy G. The storylines would have been amazing, but Jimmy G just can't get right. But who you got?
Give me the Niners.
Same, man. I and again, the Bucks might very well like the Bucks. It's just weird with them.
They're a weird team.
They might very well win this game, but they're not. Their defense, that 49ers defense, nah, they ain't gonna get Tom Brady. Dolphins at Chargers.
This is the debate now. This is debate. Who's
Justin
better?
Herbert versus Tua. Games in in LA.
Listen, I'm gonna come out and say another I'm sorry to the NFL world and the podcast listeners. Chargers weren't what I thought they were. Although injury has been their Achilles heel all year.
He hasn't had a healthy receiver all season.
Hasn't. He's made Josh Palmer get a good contract next year. That's what he's definitely done. Give me the Dolphins. They're not gonna lose 2 games in a row.
This one's tough. More so because the game's in, even though the Chargers fans don't show up to the game, it's not like the Dolphins fans travel that well either. Justin Herbert has a lot to prove to me, because I still think he's probably feels disrespected, and he feels a little like, yeah, I'm really him. Like, yo, his career is going to be Phillip Rivers. Like, let's just be honest, it's going to be the same. I think his team will always let him down, but the talent will always be there. I'm going with the Chargers, though. I'm going with the Chargers.
The Chargers do that to you.
So we differed on 3 this week, so it's about to get messy. As we get into the stretch run of the NFL season, we almost there, y'all. But go ahead and wrap us up.
All right, so you can find us on Twitter at fair_weatherpod. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. And wherever you listen, if you want to hear the audio, you can hear us on wherever you subscribe to podcast at.
A little earlier in my little words of advice today. So a little earlier, I know we're laughing a little bit about Cameron or whatever, but that Ben Gordon situation is kind of strange. It also just brings me back to always kind of just focusing on mental health. Because we had a little town hall thing on my job today. We talked about mental health and stuff like that. So, we see it with you could be a former athlete. I heard I forgot who it was. They were talking about Vincent Jackson and how much that hurt them to see him take his own life or whatever, drink himself to death. You see it with football players. You've seen it with basketball players now with like Delonte West and Ben Gordon. Just don't treat people differently if they have mental health issues. You don't know if they have mental health issues at the time because they're probably too macho to let you know that they're not feeling well. So just make sure that you approach every situation with an open heart. Just be nice and be kind to people. Like, at the end of the day, the reason why this world sucks right now because everybody's just so mean to each other, bro. Everybody's just not. Everybody has something to complain about. Everybody's mean. Everyone's just, we gotta do better to our neighbors. That's my words of advice, because you just never know what that man or woman is going through.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, tell your friends you love them, bro. If you joke around and say that's gay or that's lame or whatever, no, you feel the same way. You'd run through a train for anybody. So showing expressions of love and gratitude doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
It's not weak. It's not weak. It's not. Bro, come on now.
Shed your male ego.
It's okay, bro. Cry. Who cares, man? Like, for real.
Exactly. My words of advice: Yankees go get Carlos Rondon. That's it.
Anyway, that's the end of the show because he has to end it on some bullshit. So everybody, peas greens and collard greens and Blue Eagles and Phillies and all that stuff. Go Blue.